It's cozy season. You need blankets, pillows. You need mugs. You need
You know what I want?
tea koozie. What's your cozy season must-haves?
Holiday themed glasses and dishware. You know, I finally got my little Christmas plates that I've wanted for years and years and years last Christmas. I want like some sort
It's
of
not
like
my culture, but
I know
I
it's not
respect
your culture,
it.
but I want more like Christmassy drinkware, plateware.
Okay, well, you know a great place to get that.
Wayfair.
Yeah, you got to be stocking up at Wayfair.
I'm stocking up at Wayfair.
Because not only are you going to get the cozy items that you so desire, but you're going to get great deals on the cozy items you so desire. Because Wayfair has great deals on things your home actually needs, especially before the holidays. They have everything from sofas to spatulas. You name it, they have it. They also have styles you can't find anywhere else. No cookie cutter stuff that everyone else has, so you can make your home way more you. Right now, you can shop Wayfair's insane holiday deals and get up to 70% off during their Black Friday deals.
You know what items I'm all ready for thanks to Wayfair?
What items?
Christmas napkins. It sounds silly, but I want them and I like them.
Get them.
Christmas, they've got little Christmas trees on them.
Get
and
them.
they're napkins.
Just
okay?
just have me over and make cookies. Like,
And you'll go, not my culture, when you like wipe your mouth, but that's fine. That's
no,
totally
I'll say
fine.
these are gorgeous.
Thank you. Don't miss out on saving big with Wayfair this holiday. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday deals. That's WAYFAIR.com.
You or Jayla?
Yo, they wanna know.
Hey,
Mia.
hey,
Mia.
Come on.
hey. I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger,
I'm Lindsay Weber.
and we're going on tour. Buy tickets to our show, whoweekly.us/live. It's a Squarespace. Just click on the button that says live and you can buy tickets. That's easy. Do that, right? Do
Yeah,
that. It'll
go
be
come
fun.
see us on tour.
Vaccinations required.
Get out of the window.
Everyone out of the window.
Come to a safe and welcoming environment with lots of laughs.
You know who can come to our show now?
Who?
Karl Cook. Karl Cook is now free to come to our show because he has divorced Kaley Cuoco.
I'd argue they've divorced each other.
Well, I just thought it would be more believable for Karl Cook to come to our show than Kaley Cuoco. I wanted to say that
Kaylee's
Kaley
not
would
coming.
come.
You're right.
I
Kaylee's
know,
not
Kaley
coming,
won't
but
come.
Karl
what
was
else does
looking
he
for
have to do?
he was looking for an excuse to come this whole time, and now finally he can come to the show.
Like an equestrian, they have time, don't they? Isn't that one thing? They have horses and time. That's what equestrians have. They have horses, time, and family money.
If Karl doesn't buy a VIP ticket to our show, I'm gonna be super pissed.
I love the way that this divorce was covered with like a 1-2 punch, since now Kaley Cuoco is, she had her big post Big Bang TV hit with the flight attendant that people seem to really love. And it was like a fun new side of her. We loved the flight attendant. We loved Kaley Cuoco in it. So you had the initial shock of like a celebrity divorce between someone we know and someone we don't. That's a little sad. And then instantly the 1-2 punch was, the money's going to be okay. They had an ironclad prenup. Everyone, I would argue that in my quick little scanning, more people wrote headlines about the prenup than they wrote about the actual divorce.
Well, I don't really understand. I do think that there's like the
Cuoco money.
things that people know about Kaley Cuoco is that she's very rich, but then he's also very rich. So I don't really know. Anyways, I was kind of sad about this, if only because they seemed like a goofy couple, and that what they had in common was animals, which is like a nice,
It's cute.
a nice commonality for her. And also they had that meeting where he didn't know who she was, which I'm like,
Which I believe.
okay, I could believe that, right, at a certain point. So they had that nice connection. But also the other interesting thing about them is, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a lot of like reporting about it because of course it like freaked people out. They weren't living together for a while. Like they got married, then they were like living separately because
I
of
remember that.
work. And they were married a year and a half, but they were living separately. And then they finally, because of the quarantine, moved in together. So they kind of had like a pseudo COVID breakup. Because COVID forced them to live together, which is, as we know, a very inconvenient situation.
Sometimes married
right?
celebrities don't like living together. Sometimes married non-celebrities don't like living together.
together. Anyways, I just think it was just interesting because, of course, everybody brought that up because that was like a question that she had answered. Like, oh, we weren't living together. We're so crazy. We're so kooky. And they're like, The other shady thing. This is the most shady thing. that people brought up, which was, what was Kaley Cuoco doing for the past few months?
Shooting Flight Attendant season 2.
No, she was shooting a rom-com.
She's
Who was she
shooting the
shooting a
rom-com with
with?
Pete Davidson.
So she's been posting all these cute pictures of her and Pete Davidson, like semi-promoting this upcoming rom-com called Meet Cute. And everyone's like,
Not meeting cute on the set of Meet Cute. Oh, God. What is the opposite of a meet cute? Like meet hideously, meet badly. They had a meet badly on the set of Meet Cute.
they had a meet hideous.
Meet hideous. Oh God, not a meet hideous on the set of Meet Cute.
I mean, I'm just saying that people are asking questions.
The people are
about
talking.
it.
The people are talking.
People are talking. Yeah.
The people are talking.
In typical high-profile celebrity breakup fashion, we had the party line, which is the official statement, which was,
As he reads this, think about how many questions it refuses to answer, or just like it just tells you no information. Read
I'm
it.
gonna add horses neighing to the background of this when I edit this.
No.
Despite a deep love and respect for one another, we have realized that our current paths have taken us in opposite directions. Easy to do when you're both on a horse. We have both shared so much of our journey publicly, so while we would prefer to keep this aspect of our personal life private, we wanted to be forthcoming in our truth together. That is the most woo-woo sentence I've ever heard. There is no anger or animosity, quite the contrary. We have made this decision together through an immense amount of respect and consideration for one another, and request that you do the same in understanding that we will not be sharing any additional details or commenting further. So this, of course, gave the green light to their friends to anonymously talk to people and say things like, "The split seems very sudden, it's pretty shocking." And then someone else said, "In the beginning of the summer, Kaley seemed very happy with Karl. They were affectionate and seemed great."
I'm telling you, that's why people are saying the Pete Davidson stuff, not to really dig in, but like because she started filming with him and like not that long ago, and it was kind of sudden, and they're calling this sudden. I just am cracking up because I'm like, has there ever, as you were reading that, I was like, has there ever been like a statement that is like, we hate each other? There's never been. It's only, you only give a statement like that when you want people to think that things are fine. You're never like, we just want to, let everyone know that we're breaking up. We fucking hate each other's guts. I think we think each other is disgusting. We will not be working this out. And please respect our privacy.
After living together for 3 years and being married for 4, I have decided that I can no longer stand the sight of Karl Cook. His body repulses me. Just being near him makes me sick.
I started sleeping in the barn. I refuse to be near that man.
In a joint statement, Phoebe Dynevor and Ariana Grande said, "Ugh."
No, they said, "No, girl, girl, no." Okay, the other extremely funny thing about this is that simultaneously as releasing the they're breaking up, Us Weekly decided to dig in a little further by releasing alongside who is Karl Cook, 5 things to know about Kaley Cuoco's estranged husband, because they were like, you clearly don't know who this man is still, you meaning like the people.
He's so rich.
Number 3 is he comes from a very wealthy family.
You thought Cuoco money was cuckoo. Cook money is even cuckooer.
That's why they were such a good match, because she had the cash and he had even more cash.
His father founded Intuit, the TurboTax software.
TurboTax.
And
so when you do your taxes with
QuickBooks.
TurboTax, which you shouldn't because they steal your money.
You're buying him another horse. You're buying him another horse.
You should hear the sound of neighs in the distance, because that means Karl Cook is riding away with another stallion, purchased with your hard-earned cash.
He just purchased so much more hay to feed his very rich horses.
So much more hay.
They are billionaires.
How much hay can you buy with $6 billion? Think about that.
That's a ton of hay. Okay, what else is going on?
Speaking of a ton of hay, just kidding. We should always do speaking of, but make it like not related, so that when it just
That's
never
fun.
ever makes sense.
So that if we cut the following segment, it will be equally absurd. Speaking of a ton of hay, Nicole Scherzinger is getting sued. Nicole Scherzinger is getting sued. Tell me about this lawsuit.
It's so funny. Okay, so they reunited the Pussycat dolls.
Is there a new iteration? You have to add a pause there. The Pussycat dolls.
Well, I forgot if it was girls or dolls, which is where I'm at this morning. I thought it was, at first I was like, is it girls? Like Powerpuff Girls dolls? They reunited the Pussycat Dolls. They put out one honestly iconic single. React is like secretly a banger.
Every time I leave, you pull me closer. I hang up the phone, you call me back. Why don't you mess me around like you're supposed to? You're telling me cool 'cause I'm just wanting you to react.
They came back, they put out one like legendary song, and then like poof, disappeared. It's almost like somebody, aka Nicole Scherzinger, changed her mind. It's telling, you know? Because I think all the other girlies were like ready to go, and Nicole was like,
right.
I'd rather just like go do something else or whatever. I'd rather go star in Annie Live. She's not in Annie Live, but
She could be.
Is she in Annie Live? No, she.
No.
Oh, we joked that she was in Annie Live, but she's not.
You joked that she was the dog.
She's worn animal makeup before. She's been in Cats. I'm just saying it wouldn't be that much of a stretch.
It's like Zoe Saldana has been blue, green, like she's been every color. Like Nicole Scherzinger
She
is
has
going to be
been
every
blue.
domestic animal.
Okay, she has been blue and green. She has been blue and green. Okay, so back to Nicole Scherzinger. Oh, her name has Singer in it. Did you know that? Her name's like Gwen Singer, but it's like Nicole Scherzinger.
It doesn't have singer in it. It has zinger in it, which would be funny if she were a comedian because she makes zingers. But really, she's a singer. And I don't think Nicole Scherzinger has a sense of humor.
Okay, so here we go. She's getting sued because the woman who invented, first of all, inventing a girl group and like being the creator is like so passe. First of all, I just want to say like, oh my God, like Simon Cowell, Lou Diamond Reed, what's his name? Lou, he went to jail for he created NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
You're confusing Lou Diamond Phillips, Lou Reed, and Lou Pearlman.
Lou Pearlman. Anyways, he's like all these like scammers who like create girl and boy groups. Like we're past that. This is the 21st century. We don't deal with that anymore.
No.
Anyways, Robin Anton is the creator of the Pussycat Dolls. Okay, Robert Anton. She's a choreographer because she's
choreographer.
She made the Pussycat Dolls the show. She made the burlesque show, and then the girl group came out of that show, if you recall.
Yes.
So she's was helping put together the tour, I guess, and the reboot of the band in loose terms, and
the group.
Nicole said, I will not be going on tour with this group until I get the majority of the share in funds and a complete creative control in the relaunch.
Which she deserves.
Does she though? I mean, like, okay, sure, she does. She deserves to sing 60% majority share of the songs, but does she deserve majority creative control if this other woman is the one who created the concept of the Pussycat Dolls?
I think so. I think Nicole Scherzinger has been scorned so many times and should demand what she wants and just see what happens.
Anton also claims that she and Scherzinger came to the original deal in 2019 with dockets stating the agreement had Scherzinger getting 49% in a memorandum of understanding. Bitch, sign a document. Don't give me memorandum of understanding. I'm not even a lawyer, and I know that that's a dangerous. It's like, would you handshake over it?
No, they both did like a dance. They both did a quick little dance.
Like a two-step, a little kick.
And it was official.
Anton adds Scherzinger demanded to renegotiate in the terms of the MOU. Scherzinger now allegedly wants to be a 75% owner with the final decision-making authority, and she's refusing to participate in the tour otherwise. To be fair, to your point that she should just get all of this, if she doesn't participate, there is no tour.
It's not
There
working.
is no
That's what I
reunion.
mean. Because
Right,
it's not
she's the
like
final
Little Mix
line.
or like if this were Little Mix, if this were Fifth Harmony, like you could cut one of them out and still make your way across the stage and make it happen. But Nicole is the Pussycat Dolls, you know, like not every group has a lead who is as defined.
It also just shows, though, that the Pussycat Dolls is such an entity outside of Nicole. I'm surprised she even wanted to go back and do it at all because they clearly own all the music. They own all of the like dance. They own all of the look. They like literally, she actually literally owns nothing of that group. And also, but the idea is that as an audience, we still need her. They still need her if they're going to call this thing a band. The minute they stop calling it a band, the minute they say, oh, it's a show again, oh, we're doing a review, then you don't have to have Nicole Scherzinger. But if we're talking about singing, you got to have Nicole Scherzinger.
Sure zinging.
Okay, I'm doing Scherzinger. Because if you say it really fast, it's like singing. If you have Nicole singing, you need Nicole Scherzinger.
I was back on the Pussycat Dolls Wikipedia and I was reminded of one of my favorite infographics in all of Wikipedia. and it is the Pussycat Dolls member timeline. You know, they usually do this with like,
Oh, you're obsessed with the member timeline.
you can see how long one particular actor stayed on a long running show, group, whatever it is. And the member timeline on Pussycat Dolls has all 6 of the members: Scherzinger, Bakar, Roberts, Sutta, Thornton, and Wyatt. And it has the timeline. The x-axis is going from 2003 to 2021. Okay?
Okay.
All 6 of them begin, the y-axis is the women. All 6 of them, the dolls, begin in 2003. And their red lines, all of them extend to 2008 when Bakar leaves. Then Scherzinger, Roberts, Sutta, Thornton, and Wyatt continue on until 2010. In 2010, Roberts, Sutta, Thornton, and Wyatt drop off. So from 2010 to 2011, Nicole Scherzinger is the only Pussycat Doll. She's a solo act for 1 year. And this, according to this chart, the Pussycat Dolls was only Nicole Scherzinger from 2010 to 2011.
I mean, it makes sense that they tried to make that happen because that's what she wanted all along. And they said, okay, girly, we'll just give you some backup dancers. And like, you try and make this work by yourself. Then she turned out she didn't want it at all.
She wanted to become a major Broadway actor.
Speaking of major Broadway actors, Mark Ronson married a Gummer.
Pop quiz, which Gummer did Mark Ronson marry?
I think it's Grace. But the problem with the Gummers is you can't say, oh, he married Grace Gummer. You have to say he married Newsroom Gummer. You have to distinguish. There is Newsroom Gummer. There is Ricky and the Flash Gummer. There are 2 Gummers. You have to know which Gummer. You have to know your Gummers. I have suffered from not knowing my Gummers for many years now. In fact, I wrote about not knowing my Gummers in Vulture. I have not known my Gummers since 2013 at this point.
So he married Newsroom Gummer, not Ricky and the Flash Gummer.
He married Newsroom Gummer.
Okay. We're not calling them Grace or Mamie ever again.
We're calling them Newsroom Gummer and Ricky and the Flash Gummer. Mark Ronson marries Newsroom Gummer. Meryl Streep is his mother-in-law, which is just a wild thing to say.
Don
And-
is his father-in-law. No last name, just Don.
Which is not as a wild of a thing to say because it's just kind of a normal thing to say that Don is his father-in-law. And he wrote a very sweet note. He posted a picture. He wrote a very sweet note to my truest love, out of nowhere. I agree. That really was out of nowhere. You made 45 hands down the greatest year of my life. And I'm sure it took me 45 years to become the man worthy of your love. I hope I spend every one of these birthdays by your side till my last day and beyond. Forever and ever yours. And yes, we got married. I just thought it was funny that I think it's sweet and also funny that he was like, yes, obviously it took me 45 years to become like a person worthy of you. Because like I'm getting married at 45. It's a little older than even I expected.
And you know he had to do something very elegant and good because whenever your mother-in-law is Meryl Streep, you kind of have to step up your game.
Oh, you got to step it up.
If he had married Kaley Cuoco, do you think he would have left such a heartfelt message, such a copy-edited message? Or do you think it would have been a first draft? That's what we call
Wait,
our first draft
you think if he married Kaley Cuoco, he would have left? You think if he married Kaley Cuoco, he would have left a shittier message?
I think when you marry someone who is related to Meryl Streep, and Meryl Streep will always be part of your narrative in the press, you have to do several revisions.
You think
but
he would
a
have
lot of
written,
people
like-
are first draft marriages.
He's like,
you
I
know?
thought it took 45 years, but you big bang banged into my life.
Exactly.
And I hope to attend to your every need.
Mm-hmm.
As
He would use puns that didn't
fly
quite make
our
sense.
way
Exactly.
through life.
It's one of those things that on paper, it's sort of like, whoa, that's so weird. But it doesn't really linger with you, you know? Like, it comes and goes. You're like, that's crazy. And then you instantly forget that it happened. Like,
Yeah.
we knew they were together a few months ago. And then I completely forgot until they got married. And I was like, yet again, that's crazy. And now I will lose it.
The most interesting thing about this is not even that she married Mark Ronson, which is actually just kind of sweet and like somewhat normal because who do you think you fucking meet in the industry? It's like of course she married Mark Ronson. Who else does she hang out with? It's like Mark Ronson types, you know, like that's what I mean. But the more kind of like kooky thing was that she was married for 3 months a year ago.
To Tay Strathern. I almost said Tay's on day. To Tay Strathern.
To David Strathern's son, Tay, which is like such a random thing because we were watching Silkwood the other night, and guess who is in Silkwood? That's right, Meryl Streep and David Strathern, a young David Strathern is in Silkwood.
They
and also the other
absolutely
thing was
fucked.
crazy. was
They
Meryl
absolutely
looks
fucked.
like Gummers. She looks like both Gummers, but she looks like insanely like her daughters in that movie.
Yeah.
It's uncanny.
Dawn's
Like,
DNA,
genetics
at least
were-
the physical parts of the DNA, like, did not translate.
No. Meryl's genes like ate Dawn's in the womb. Like there is no remnant of Dawn within the looks of the Gummer girls. Both
They're
Newsroom and
exclusive.
Ricky and the Flash.
They're exclusively Meryl. So, what are these other fun facts about Tay Strathern that you have here, which I
Oh
completely
my
didn't
God,
realize?
nothing. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. It's like the funny thing about Tay Strathern, who was married to Newsroom Gummer for 3 months, is when he's in the band Dawes with Mandy Moore's husband.
I think
don't
we've
even
talked about
understand. We have. And then the other funny thing is on IMDb, it says trivia. Did you know? Brother of Ebby Strathern. It's like, that's his only trivia.
It's like, nothing has made me close a tab faster than, did you know, brother of Ebby Strathern?
Just saying. I don't know how we got here. Anyways, the Gummers have Meryl Streep's son-in-law is none other than Mark Ronson.
And that makes Samantha Ronson absolutely nothing.
Wait, I'm just thinking about that.
No, you don't get anything.
There are now two DJs in Meryl Streep's family.
And her
You
son
know
is a
she's complaining
musician.
to Dawn. You know she's complaining to Dawn like, oh, we do not need these two DJs in
What's
our
his
family.
name? What is her son's
her
name, the musician?
son.
Harry.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Oh, Henry.
Harry.
Henry Gummer.
Henry.
Henry Gummer. But he goes by
Henry
Henry Wolf,
Gummer.
understandably. He goes by Singer Gummer. I'm
Nicole
Singer
Scherzinger
Gummer. These are my
Gummer.
sisters, Newsroom and Ricky and the Flash.
Son Gummer.
But then there's Model Gummer, who is Louisa. Remember her? Model Gummer is completely different.
You said remember her? I had completely forgotten her.
She's going to be Gilded Age Gummer because she's starring in an HBO show starring Christine Baranski and Cynthia Nixon called The Gilded Age.
So now
we
we
got
have
Gilded Age Gummer.
God.
Oh my God, they're all HBO stars because Newsroom Gummer, Ricky and the Flash Gummer is also technically True Detective Season 3 Gummer. And then you
Ricky and
have
the Flash
Gilded
is
Age
just, how is Ricky and the Flash HBO? Just streaming on HBO?
Gummer. True Detective Season 3 Gummer.
No, she's don't confuse me. I
Mamie
only know
Gummer
them
is
as
in
Ricky.
True Detective Season 3.
Okay, we need to define. Okay, so are we not calling her Ricky and the Flash Gummer?
Well, I'm just saying if we want to keep it all in the HBO family, we've got Gilded Age Gummer, True Detective Season 3 Gummer, and Newsroom Gummer.
Oh my God, Louisa's in Gilded Age.
Yeah, whatever that is.
I can't wait for that. I cannot.
Can't wait.
Cynthia Nixon in the Gilded Age. Oh,
Julian
sign
Fellows.
me up.
It's Julian Fellows.
In the Cynthia Nixon doing like Downton Abbey drag. Oh, I can't
Carrie
wait.
Coon's in it as well.
Carrie Coons. It's speaking like a vaguely British. Oh, can't wait.
I slept in a terrible bed at one of our dates this story. I won't reveal where it was because I don't want to be super rude, but the bed was absolutely horrendous. Big dip in the middle. I was
Yeah.
always like rolling into the center. It was so bad. My back hurt so bad when I woke up. And guess what? When I got home, my favorite part of being home was getting in bed.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were like back
finally,
into my mattress.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's a real bed that was chosen for me based on a quiz, the Helix quiz.
Right. And sometimes when people use my mattress, they're like, that's a little soft. And I'm like, yeah, it's made for me, not for you.
For you.
Which actually even drives home the fact that it's so made for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I kind of relish in the I mean, I don't want my friends to be uncomfortable, but I'm like, I kind of am like celebrating the fact that it's like for my body, not for yours.
Mm-hmm. I just sleep so much better on my own mattress than literally any other mattress. And that's because Helix mattresses rock. I wake up, my back doesn't hurt. I wake up, I don't have night sweats. I wake up and I'm thrilled. I wake up and I say, I love you, Helix.
That's
So
incredible.
if you want to experience the joy that I experience every
The
time I
joy,
get in bed,
the
and every time I get
satisfaction.
every time I get out of bed, you should go to helixsleep.com/who because you will get 25% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. Plus, get a free bedding bundle, which includes 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order at helixsleep.com/who. That's helixsleep.com/who.
Speaking of vaguely British, we got some relationship news.
Brief,
Niall
brief.
Horan, brief. Niall Horan is dating a woman named Amelia Woolley. Amelia Woolley.
These One Direction boys love to date a woman named Amelia Woolley, who's a fashion buyer.
They love plucking out exactly this type of lady.
They love to date a 24-year-old fashion buyer. Niall's the one you like. You stan Niall.
I stan Niall. Niall's my favorite. Harry Who, in my opinion.
No.
Harry Who, Liam Wishes.
Disgusting.
Zayn, forgot about him. All gone. Niall's number one.
When we say...
Who's the other one that we forgot one of them? Who's the one we forgot?
Louis.
Oh no.
Louis.
Oh yeah, bye.
You love Niall because he had the best thing. He had a really good solo career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He seems like the one I get along with the best, you know?
He would love to go to the pub with you. I think he's Irish.
Yeah, I'd love to go to the pub with Niall. Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Okay, Kristin Cavallari, listen to this. Kristin Cavallari,
Okay, I'm
Cavallari,
listening.
excuse me. Kristin Cavallari is dating this guy named Chase Rice, and this was I thought of you when I was like
God.
googling Chase Rice because
Ugh.
you know when you do that noise you make where you're like like I had that when I was googling Chase Rice.
Did
like,
you keep seeing stuff? You kept
Yes.
seeing stuff. Yeah.
So the first one they met through a mutual friend in Nashville, which I love that they just get that out of the way where it's like how'd they meet? Mutual friend. Love it. Believe it.
Nashville is like 99% Kristin Cavallari's and country stars. I'm just saying it's not surprising to me that she ended up with some like, I'm sorry, C-list country guy that I've never heard of, but like vaguely have heard of.
First, I was like, because I always sort of think that Kristin Cavallari is going to shock the nation by saying, I'm back with Jay, you know? Because they
No,
have
she's
such a
not.
weird,
She's not.
freaky-deaky relationship. Remember when they posted that
not.
photo, like, we
Oh, well, 'cause
stand
they're
together
gay
against
trolls.
the haters, or whatever.
Well, because they're both
And
like
they're co-parents.
They don't. They're like fuck the trolls, fuck the haters. But Jay is like actually like bad. He's like bad news. He's out here being like, oh, vaccines. Like he's like really
But I think that Kristin's attracted to bad news.
bad boys.
It's like doom
Bad
scrolling
boys.
as a relationship strategy.
Okay, all right, go back to
So-
what you were doing.
Their relationship isn't exclusive just yet, according to a source in the Daily Mail. And then I see this. He first came to prominence in 2010 when he was a contestant on Survivor Nicaragua, where he was the runner-up, okay? He was the runner-up in Survivor Nicaragua in 2010.
I'm sorry, but only country music can be sustained on the backs of people who were the runner-ups on Survivor. It's like, what's next? Chase Rice, a country music career?
Exactly, a country music career. He had a failed football career because he got an injury, and so he like looks like a quarterback or looks like a linebacker. He looks like he holds the football in some way.
Love to hear it.
Anyway, but then he
Great.
had an injury, which I'm like, again, I love when people stop playing football, thrilled. So he starts Survivor. He almost wins. Then he's like, I can write country music. Not only does he write country music, he co-writes Cruise, the Florida Georgia
Not
Line
Cruise.
song, right?
Not Cruise. That's a great song.
Which has sold so many copies that he probably made such good money on this song, right? Then he's like, I don't have to just write country music, I'll perform country music. And now that I have buds in the FGL house, now that I have like a bedroom in the FGL house, I'm going to release
bedroom.
a song and FGL House is going to participate. And that song came out this year and it is called Drinkin' Beer, Talkin' God, Amen, featuring Florida Georgia Line. You have to hear.
Let me guess how the chorus goes. We're drinking beer, we're talking God, amen. Like something like that.
You're so close. Listen to this.
It needs like another thing though.
When the world's gone crazy, man, it all makes sense. Sitting here, drinking beer, talking God, amen.
Sitting here,
Oh,
drinking
it's
beer,
sitting
talking
here.
God, amen.
So you know how I said it was missing a third? It needs to be like drinking beer, talking God, blah, 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 amen. So it's sitting here, drinking beer, talking God, amen.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Sitting here, drinking beer, talking God, amen.
Kristin Cavallari's like, I prefer to stand. I only drink wine. I don't believe in God, and I'm going to bed. So that's who she is allegedly dating.
It's pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
It's
Chase
pretty
Rice.
funny.
Perfect name. Can you believe his name is Chase Rice, and he has a song called Drinking Beer, Talking God, Amen?
It reminds me of Chase Dreams, which is the fake name of the Justin Bieber character on two of them. The other two.
Lindsay, I have a big question for you.
Yeah.
I saw that Stormzy, a rapper who I know, is dating Amber Gill, who's a reality star you know. Tell me about Amber Gill.
Amber won Love Island.
Oh, she
a few
won?
seasons ago. She's a
I didn't
Love
know she
Island winner.
won.
She was a fan favorite. She won with this guy named Greg. They obviously didn't last. He was in the Olympics. I don't know how this is all going to say. He was in the
He
Olympics
plays rugby.
for some reason. He went to the Olympics, but they were already broken up. She's
A
Amber.
rugby player named Greg O'Shea. I'm going to Google images.
He's hot. She was a fan favorite. She won Love Island, and she remained. You made the noise.
She
Good or
dumped
bad?
this guy? That's interesting.
Yeah, he's hot, right?
Yeah, okay.
This is great because she's kind of like an A-listian, a reality star in the UK. And Stormzy, who I feel like is definitely A-list UK, but like certainly has not broken out over here. Mm-hmm. This is a perfect pairing. Like they must be going crazy across the pond for these two.
I love the way this was confirmed too, because it's like she was at a festival where he was performing, but she was in the VIP section. And it's like the way this is written about is very like we read some tweets and have to act like we did reporting. Fellow festival goers started to jump to conclusions after they spotted Amber, who won Love Island back in 2019 alongside Irish rugby player Greg O'Shea, watching Stormzy perform during the Leeds section of the two-city festival. Festival goers have suggested the pair could be dating, as the show's organizers traditionally only allow close contacts of performers to watch them from the side of the stage.
What?
That's the only confirmation.
Wait, they weren't spotted together. They weren't holding hands. They weren't smooching. She was literally just watching his concert from the VIP section.
But Lindsay, festival goers have suggested the pair could be dating, as show organizers traditionally only allow close contacts of performers to
I'm
watch them from the
pissed.
side of the stage.
This is bullshit. The Mirror, go fuck yourself. There's no evidence. This is not evidence.
I was like, who else has Stormzy dated? Didn't we talk about him recently? He dated Maya Jama.
Maya Jama, who's now dating Kendall Jenner's ex, which is why we talked about her.
Kendall Jenner's ex. I believe it, though. I don't need physical connection. I don't need PDA if you have the side of the stage. I believe the festival goers who have suggested the pair could be dating, as show organizers traditionally only allow close contacts of performers to watch them from the side of the stage.
Oh my God, stop saying that. Stop saying that.
Next dating news, Reggae Jean Page is dating a woman named Emily Brown, who's essentially...
Wait, but wasn't he dating someone else when, like, a long...
She was a mystery woman at first, and now she's a copywriter. Okay, cool, she's a
let's
copywriter.
move on. Antonio Banderas is dating a woman named Nicole Kimple. What?
I love this woman, Nicole Kimple, okay?
Why?
Nicole Kimple, because she saved his life.
She saved Antonio Banderas' life?
She saved his life.
She just gave him an aspirin.
Well, aspirin saves lives.
Oh my God. Okay, well, she saved his life.
He was like, I don't feel well. Something's wrong. She bought an aspirin. He took the aspirin and he woke up. He was like, fuck, I'm having a heart attack. The aspirin, as the blood thinner, aspirin saves lives.
When you have a older boyfriend, you got to make sure they don't have a heart attack. That's
When you have an older boyfriend, keep aspirin in the house.
Keep aspirin in your palm just to make sure. Just keep it in your pocket.
I mean, I should
Keep it
keep
with
aspirin
you.
in the house. I don't have aspirin in
Why?
the house.
Oh, that's crazy. Why not? It's great for headaches.
know I should have
And for
aspirin.
heart attacks.
So do you want to talk about Garrett Morosky and Sarah Emig?
Well, they're truly two who's, and I thought you'd enjoy that. Like, you don't know any of those people, do you?
Yeah, tell me about
They're
them.
both like reality. Garrett Morosky won F-Boy Island, the show that like nobody actually watched.
Oh,
but
he
was on
won it.
HBO Max.
Yeah, I started
He
and I was like,
won
you know
it.
what? Never mind.
One of the girlies chose him to be her boyfriend, and he said, "Nah, bitch, I'm taking $100,000." So he actually
he
won
was an F-boy?
$100,000. He was an F-boy.
Oh, that's funny.
But what's weird about that show, that I barely watched, towards the end, they knew that some of the boys were F-boys, but they were like, we're reforming. Like, I came into this competition as an F-boy, but I met you. But then you are an F-boy because you lied the whole time and then you took the money. Isn't that so funny? I just thought that this show was funny because it had multiple layers where it was like, okay, so we thought this show was originally to find out who were the F-boys and who were the good guys. Then we revealed all the F-boys and the girl still chose one who was an F-boy, proving that you really can't win, can you? So this guy says, I'm taking $100,000, goes off the show. Then he starts dating Jake Paul's ex-girlfriend, whose name is Mia Francis, who was also at one point dating Harry Jowsey, who was dating that girl Francesca, who is bisexual, who was dating a girl. It's literally the same pool of people. Now, all these people are getting thrown into the same pool of kind of like reality show losers who just like date each other to stay relevant and keep their names in TMZ, which they're doing a good job of because I'm reading this in TMZ. So props, you know?
Yeah. Moving on really quickly, This wasn't in here, but you texted it to me, and I love it. Chris Pine, my number one fave, showed off his flexible physique while vacationing on a yacht off Italy's picturesque Amalfi Coast, ... before taking a trip ashore with a mystery blonde. Chris Pine has a mystery blonde.
Do you know Chris Pine's mystery blonde? Email tips@thedailymail.com. Did you refresh the article today? Did they?
Yeah, I refreshed
maybe they
it this morning.
identified
It's
her.
gone. No, there's no
You
identification.
refresh it every 10 minutes. It's on an auto refresh, isn't it?
Yeah,
in
but
the
I don't
tab?
care about the mystery blonde. So, moving on, we have a section I'm going to call gay rights. Just a couple things.
Gay
for
rights.
Gay rights. We have 2 instances of gay rights. 3 instances of gay rights. 1 instance of gay rights. Jordan Barrett married Fernando Casablancas, which isn't super notable. So it's just like models. It's models. That's who they are. They're 2 gay male models.
2 gay male models who married.
Jordan Barrett is not interesting. Fernando Casablancas is interesting because I was like, Casablancas, it stands to reason, I don't really hear that last name often, that he's probably related to Julian Casablancas of the Strokes. Turns out I was right. They're brothers. But what I didn't know, that I guess I'm really stupid, they're sort of like air quotes nepotism because their father founded Elite Model Management, and his name was John Casablancas, and he died like 8 years ago. And he was this like very successful entrepreneur who is allegedly responsible for the entire concept of supermodels, like models being cultural figures beyond
They
just
represented
fashion.
all of the supermodels. And
From the
then
80s, all
you
of
may have heard Elite Model Management because now it's called Elite World Group, and it is run by Julia Hart, who just got a reality show on Netflix called like
My Orthodox Life.
My Orthodox Life, that is about how she got into power. So basically what happened was
My Unorthodox Life. Sorry. Oops. Unorthodox Life.
That's unorthodox life, because she was orthodox and now she's not. The Elite Model Management was run by Julian Casablancas' father and another guy who then did sexual harassment, and basically the whole thing got sold and unbanded, and now it's Elite World Group, which was run by this guy who Julia Hart married. His name is Silvio. Silvio did a lot of tax fraud, in case you're wondering the backstory of Silvio. Silvio bought La Perla. La Perla was being run by Julia Hart at the time after she like escaped Jewish Orthodox life. Whole story you can watch on the reality show whether you like to or not. I don't really like that show, but that's a whole other thing. And now that's how this all connects kind of together, which is kind of funny. A funny connection, I thought.
So this guy, John Casablancas, though, I was reading his obituary in the New York Times, and even though it's 2013, like recent history, this is how they write about him. I couldn't believe these paragraphs. Beyond his feuds with other agencies, Mr. Casablancas was frequently criticized for having sexual relationships with young models. His public affair with Stephanie Seymour in 1983, when he was 41 and she was 15, ended his second marriage to Jeanette Christensen, former model and this 1965 Miss Denmark, casually calling a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old like, oh, it broke up his
Like
marriage.
they dated. I know.
Yeah, they dated.
Marie was the guy who co-owned it with him. Basically, both of them were disgusting and did sex assault, and then
The hammer went down on Marie.
right, but that's why Elite Model Management became Elite World Group. Like that's why it got like turned over essentially because the two of them. Anyways, wow, love a new generation of Casablancas brothers. Hopefully not repeating their father's mistakes.
But there were a lot of who's and thems at Jordan and Fernando's wedding because they're young models. And so Kate Moss was there, Georgia May Jagger was there, and Jeremy O'Hara's was there. I loved this quote. It was very spontaneous, but his wedding planner, Serena Cook, was able to pull some strings and make sure it was very special since his Aussie family couldn't attend. Champagne and cocktail drinks were flowing. It was very relaxed. Kate, parentheses, Moss, brought out the rings and really made sure it was special for him. Just like Kate Moss being there, delivering the
Does
rings.
Kate Moss hear like a model alarm and shows up? Like how does she know where the models are?
Speaking of weird alarms that go off in terms of like random non-who's who were at a hooey wedding, Garrett Clayton, Disney Channel star, married Blake Knight, a screenwriter. I'm acting like I knew who these people were before I like Googled. Garrett Clayton was the star of a Disney Channel movie that was way past my time called Teen Beach. Blake Knight is a screenwriter who's written some things I've never heard of, and they've been together for a very long time, but they only recently like came out publicly, and now they're married. He was the star of that Dave Franco, the porn movie, King Cobra.
Garrett Clayton is like Zac Efron
He
in
looks like
another.
Zac Efron.
It's like Zac Efron in another galaxy. It's almost like if Zac Efron took the path less traveled. You know, like he is the version of Zac Efron that we all thought Zac Efron was, which was like closeted. You know, and this guy actually played like
Was
a
a
singer dancer
closeted.
Disney guy and was closeted the whole time, and then did like pseudo gay porn with Dave Franco. Like it is the same. It is the Zac Efron
He didn't do
that
gay
we
porn.
thought.
He played a gay porn star in a pretty high profile like indie movie. He was also the voice of Diner Dancer in the Oogie Loves in the Big Balloon Adventure, which is one of the biggest flops of all time, which made me laugh. Okay. So the Oogie Loves in the Big Balloon Adventure. Remember it made like $1 million and it was like very expensive? One of the biggest flops of all time.
I don't
He was Diner Dancer in the Oogie Loves in the Big Balloon Adventure.
stop it.
We have this.
Stop saying Oogie
The
Loves,
couple's
please.
close friend, Alicia Silverstone, officiated the ceremony, which was held at a private residence in Los Angeles.
You can't. What the fuck?
Why was Alicia Silverstone there?
Why was
I realized
Alicia-
she was in King Cobra. I think that's how they met. She was in King Cobra.
Well, so him and Zac Efron ended up both played Link Larkin.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
what a lot of people connect them because they both were in like High School Musical, Teen Beach, which was High School Musical for the like kind of the next generation of kids. And then they both played Link Larkin. Both Zac Efron was in the movie and he was in the Hairspray Live, which was on Fox and honestly was
Okay.
a feat. It was a
Yeah.
feat. Keke Palmer in that? A feat.
So we
Gorgeous.
also have
Perfect.
the the husband. Blake Knight is a aspiring influencer beyond just being a screenwriter. And so he had a YouTube channel that he abandoned 8 months ago, but the remnants are still accessible online. And one of them, they did a video with Christy Carlson Romano called Blindfold Charcuterie Taste Test with Christy Carlson Romano and Garrett Clayton. And his channel was called A Gay in the Life. Again, it did not last
but
long.
did you see? He also has it's not a podcast. I thought it's a YouTube channel.
So that being an
posted-
LGBTQ ally, the
No, that's
thumbnail that
what I
says,
was-
but the thumbnail that says being an LGBTQ ally is for a video called Blindfold Charcuterie Taste Test.
What the?
So I was like, oh, I'm going to find this video about Christy Carlson Romano being an LGBTQ ally, but the actual video's content is more about blindfold charcuterie taste testing than it is about allyship.
So we're gonna be doing a really fun taste test today.
Okay.
But
You want to taste my breast milk?
1000%.
Then you'll know what it is. Because my breast milk just came in right now as we were talking.
just now, just
And
now,
I'm like,
God.
have you guys ever had breast milk? Anyway,
Hey, you should make your own artisan cheese.
Does anyone want
Romano cheese!
Garrett has been on 3 of her videos, and in each of those videos on Christy Carlson Romano's channel, he's not referred to as Garrett. He's referred to as Tanner from Teen Beach Movie, which I just thought was so rude. Tanner from Teen Beach Movie gets sassy in the kitchen, Christy Carlson Romano. Tanner from Teen Beach Movie versus Kim Possible Bake Off. Tanner reacts to Teen Beach Movie. This is on her channel.
On her channel, she only calls him Tanner from Teen Beach Movie on the titles.
But on his channel, they called her Christy Carlson Romano. So
Well, she's beyond
She's a
her.
little more famous.
She's beyond. The other thing I think I love about this couple is that they
They're
do Walt
Disneys.
Disney World Spawn.
which makes sense. He's a Disney person.
Yes, and they got
got a people
exclusive.
Representation.
Okay, what's the last gay rights?
The last gay rights is Colton Underwood vacationed with some guy. So he apparently has a boyfriend or is dating some guy publicly. They went to Hawaii together. It was a mystery man at first, but then he was revealed as a political strategist named Jordan C. Brown.
There's a picture of this guy with Pete Buttigieg and Chasten, so I was like, pretty much that confirms everything we need to know about that.
An eyewitness says they were tanning and swimming. They were very out in the open and not hiding their PDA. They made out and snuggled together on the lounge chairs by the pool. Anyway, now let's move on. Since we're done with gay rights, here's the punchline. Gay wrongs. Here's Emily Hampshire on Demi Lovato's podcast talking about a DM slide that didn't go well.
Emily Hampshire is someone you may know as Stevie on Schitt's Creek, but she's more than just a talented actor.
Can I say how we first met? And not even met.
Yes.
Because I think it's really funny.
Sure, go for it. Go for it. I don't care.
So I have to say that you DM'd me and you said...
I did. I slid in those DMs.
You slid in my DMs and you said, hey, girl,
Yes.
I'd like you on the show. We should kick it sometime. And then you said below it, you said, and by kick it, I mean like go on a date. I find you attractive or whatever. Like you made it clear that it was a date.
Yeah.
And I loved
Yes.
that because I was like, sometimes that's confusing, you know, like, hey.
Totally.
Decades older than you, so kick it. I was like looking at
You said that. You also said that. You were like, I'm decades older. I don't think we'll find the same things funny. I was like, excuse you. And I sent you a really good meme.
And you also said, think of Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor.
No!
And then right after you were like, oh, I don't mean you're the Holland Taylor.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Can't imagine it any other way. WhoWeekly.us is a Squarespace. It will always be a Squarespace. We love our Squarespace.
Even if they said no more advertising on this podcast, we would still have it be a Squarespace because honestly, it's just the easiest, sanest way to have a website on the internet at this point.
Yeah. I really can't think of another option.
No, I wouldn't even know how to do another option at this point. It's like it is a perfect way. I know they have all the features I need. If there's a new feature that I need somehow in the future, I know that they're going to have it. Mm-hmm. Let's say there's something we need to do on this website that I can't even think of right now. I know that in the future
advances
that they will have our
back. I trust that Squarespace will keep up.
Well, because right now it's like, you know, we have our tour dates that we're able to change on a whim, which we need to. But Squarespace does plenty of other things. They've got, you know, you could do a course, you could host a course, you could do analytics, you could do email campaigns, you can take payments, you can sell stuff. I mean, it's like
sell stuff
we could do whatever we wanted on Squarespace, and I am actually comforted knowing that I could do that in the future.
Yeah.
So head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/who and save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. That's 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Speaking of sliding into Emily Hampshire's DMs, Vanessa Hudgens got a speeding ticket. Great photos of Vanessa Hudgens speaking to a police officer, getting her ticket.
I just am like, if you doubted that Vanessa Hudgens was a star, just look at these photos of her getting a speeding ticket. Have you ever seen more flattering photos of anyone doing anything and she's literally getting a speeding ticket? Seriously, if I was pulled over getting a speeding ticket and you saw a photo of me like through the window, you would be like, throw this in the trash. You'd be like, bury this into the ocean. This is like, no one should see this.
Oh, it wasn't a speeding ticket. I was wrong. It was for texting and driving, which is classic Vanessa Hudgens, I will say. Classic Vanessa Hudgens.
Vanessa Hudgens flashes a smile as she receives a ticket for texting while driving after a grueling workout. Of course, the Daily Mail paired this with like photos of her workout.
Our grueling workout with best buddy Gigi McGree, who I will not Google.
Gigi McGree comes up a lot. People are always calling like, who's Gigi McGree? And I'm like, don't start.
In California, it is illegal to use a phone or similar electronic communication device while holding it in your hand. It can only be used in a hands-free manner, such as a speakerphone or voice commands, but never while holding it. I love when Daily Mail like does a Google and adds it to their research.
I mean, they're just like informing the public so they don't, you know, text and drive, which is very dangerous. Oh, it's so dangerous.
It's so dangerous.
I never do it.
So moving on, the first time I saw the story about Eunice Benjima sharing DMs between him and Scott
so
Disick,
funny.
For days, I completely misread the DMs. I thought that it was Eunice texting Scott, yo, is this chick okay? Bro, like, what is this in the middle of Italy? And then Scott said, doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy. P.S. I ain't your bro. And I was like, why would Eunice share this? It makes him look so bad. And then I realized I was inverting
It's Scott. It's
Scott texting Eunice on Instagram a photo of Travis Barker and Courtney being extremely PDA, saying, yo, is this chick okay? Bro, like, what is this in the middle of Italy?
Well, you notice, though, Eunice, who is Kourtney Kardashian's ex,
long-term ex.
He doesn't like, he stays out of the press. Like he was only like around when they were dating. And then like, he's like, bye-bye, I guess I'm like out of here. Scott like does everything he can to stay in the press. You know, he's dating like Hamlin daughter, who of course got herself involved in this as well, but we won't get there yet. This was just Eunice sharing a screenshot of his DMs in which Scott Disick was like being rude to Kourtney Kardashian. Like, is she okay? Is she okay? It's like, babe, she's like happy without your ass. Like, mind your business, you know?
Yeah, you're right. It is funny that like Eunice didn't try to like parlay his brief
Not really.
Kardashian adjacency into something bigger. He's just still modeling. He's always just been a model and he's still modeling.
He's just a model. And so this came out and everybody was like, oh, this is like such a bad look. Which like, if you thought that Scott Disick, if you thought this was below Scott Disick, you haven't been paying attention. And then of course, a few days later, Scott Disick's girlfriend, the Hamlin daughter,
Amelia,
wore a t-shirt that said, don't you have a girlfriend? As to be like, I'm in on the joke, right? It's like, don't you have your own girlfriend to like worry
why do you
about?
care about your ex? Yeah.
Right.
So we have these two stories and they're related. okay? I'm actually going to go backwards as to how it is in the doc. So Summer Walker went on Instagram Live, okay? Long Instagram Live. It's still uploaded to her
It's kind of like an
Instagram
iconic
TV.
monologue. We can't play it all because it's so long, but it's kind of this like incredible performance piece in a way.
We can't play it all. It begins with her like finishing brushing her teeth. She's in the bathroom and then she puts the camera upright and then like gives this long monologue to the other exes of London on the Track, who is her ex and the father of her child.
It's very 12 bums.
Exactly. It's 12 bums. She has one refrain that she repeats over and over again. And then at one point she goes away from the camera and repeats it to a little bit of improvised choreo. And it sounds like this.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, bro. Leave me alone.
She's telling these women, leave me alone. Leave me alone. It reminds me of Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. I'm living alone. I'm living alone. So she's yelling at these women, Ebony and Erica Racine. I could not figure out Ebony's last name, but Ebony and Erica Racine each have a child with London on Track. And she's like, London sucks. The two of you are so fucking annoying. You're constantly getting in my business. I don't want anything to do with the two of you anymore. Like, please leave me alone. That is what she says. She repeats herself over and over again for like 6 minutes. And you kind of feel for her. You're like, yeah, because she's the most famous one in the equation. She refers to them as clout chasers. People are also saying Summer Walker has no right to be mad at these women too, and that she's probably lying, but whatever. Me, I was like, you know what? I'm Team Summer here. She's giving me a very convincing argument.
Well, she's also like being entertaining. We're like
She's being entertaining.
entertained
She's
by
funny.
this thing. But right, like they're all kind of in the same boat. Like they should really be like on each other's teams here. But we don't know how they're bothering her. We don't know what they're saying.
We only know Summer's
Maybe she's
version of
trying to
events.
separate herself from the whole thing because it's like toxic, and maybe they're still involved with him in some way, and she doesn't want to be involved with him. Which
Yes.
makes total sense.
And also, Ebony was going on Instagram being like, don't believe what Summer says. So, like, Ebony's side of the story is obviously Summer is lying and Summer is not the victim that she makes herself seem. Meanwhile, London on the Track is just like, please stop talking about me. This is ridiculous. Also,
Leave me
Summer
alone.
calls him
Leave
a
me
deadbeat
alone.
dad. That's one of the major points that Ebony has a problem with, because she's like, London is a great dad. And here's proof that London is a great dad. And then London is like, please don't call me a deadbeat dad. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm a very present and active father. Okay, so basically it's a lot of mudslinging, but Summer does it in the most entertaining way. I'm Team Summer. Summer's the winner. And then I was just doing a little more Googling about Summer Walker and like, what wasn't there something about Summer that we were going to talk about and then we didn't on the show? Oh, right. In August, she wrote, if you're vaccinated, please stay away from me. And I was like, well,
Oh no.
oh, damn, Summer.
Okay, well, you know what? No, maybe I don't give a shit about your music.
Exactly.
Let's,
Which takes me here. Speaking of unvaccinated celebrities, Miles Teller. Miles fucking Teller. Allegedly. And I feel like we could talk about him. Even though he's like, I guess, them, a them. This is...
Is he a them? I feel like he's a who.
Let's call him a who. Let's keep him a who for the sake of this thing.
He acts like a who.
He's friends with Shailene Woodley and Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's definitely a who, okay? He's dating, what's her name? Not Violetta, the other one.
Kaley. He married her.
Kelly. It goes by Kelly, right? That's what it is.
It's Keely, but it's pronounced
It looks
Kelly.
like Keely, but it's pronounced Kelly.
We talked about her.
Remember, he got
We
into
thought
that
she
fight
was
in
heir to
Hawaii?
the LL Bean fortune or something.
Sperry, yes, Sperry.
We thought she was.
We thought she was the Sperry as in shoes, but she's Sperry as in just I'm rich.
God, wow, we've been through so many stupid things.
So Miles Teller is filming the Godfather show for Paramount Plus.
Stop casting this fool. Like, just because he has like a doughy face doesn't mean you need to cast him and everything. Like, what the fuck?
The Daily Mail publishes this like extremely viral and shocking report that not only is Miles Teller not vaccinated, according to the sources, he wouldn't even get the required tests, where I guess the set was like, look, if you're not going to get vaccinated, you have to get tested every single day. And he didn't want to do that, again, allegedly, according to these sources. And then he got COVID. Turns out he wasn't vaccinated, wouldn't even get tests, gets COVID. They have to shut down production after it just started shooting.
This was
and they had to
totally
shut it down.
leaked by
Okay?
somebody on the
Someone
production
on the thing.
too. This was or the studio even, because they're like, we're gonna have delays, we're gonna have money stuff, and we want people to know exactly why. You know.
But now we have, because it says Miles Teller is not vaccinated. He would not even get the test. Now he's brought the virus to the set, and the whole set had to be shut down. This is reported, but the Daily Mail, before publishing, they obviously reach out to his publicist, and the publicist's quote is, "Your facts are incorrect." That's it. So it's like, well, which facts?
But they shut down the set.
Exactly. And then Paramount didn't name names. They just said, out of an abundance of caution, we have temporarily halted production. We will continue to follow all safety protocols and monitor the situation closely.
But apparently it's back. They're back.
Apparently
they're
it's
back
back.
filming.
So Daily Mail, they sent someone to go to his house in LA to like ask, like, do you have COVID, I guess? And they buzzed his buzzer and they were like, hey, can we talk to Miles Teller and ask if he has COVID? And the person on the other end of the buzzer said, Miles Teller doesn't live here. But what they didn't know was that there was a UPS slip on the buzzer that said, sorry, we missed you, M. Teller.
M. Teller. Wait, this is very reminiscent of the Wendy
Williams thing. I know, it's the Wendy Williams thing.
When they said she didn't live here, but then her name was like on the
in the mailbox.
In the mailbox.
It was inside the mailbox.
Mail. Daily Mail loves to like check your mail. God, if they're ever investigating about you, you gotta move your mail. They're gonna fucking check your mail.
This is the thing that a friend of mine told me over the weekend after this broke, and it's like stuck with me, and I told you this too. My default is that a celebrity is unvaccinated unless they have explicitly talked about getting vaccinated. And I think that that's the truth. I think that that's the truth. If you haven't said you've gotten vaccinated, I think that you're not vaccinated. And look who he went to Hawaii. Who were his best friends? Aaron Rodgers.
You're saying
and Shailene Woodley.
Unvaccinated. Well, she like eats clay. Of course she's unvaccinated.
My guess is all of them are vaccinated. Right? Yeah, but just like think about your faves. Think about like some A-lister celebrities and start making a little Excel spreadsheet as to whether or not they've mentioned being vaccinated, and you will notice some interesting omissions.
You're making an Excel spreadsheet over there?
What was she wearing? Where was she seen? She posted what on Instagram? She's the Who Queen. Tens of people want to know all about the number one Who. Lindsay, Bobby, tell us now. What's Rita Ora up to?
Who is this woman?
She put on a busty display and exposed her trim midriff and plunging black cardigan at Diane Warren's birthday bash in LA. There are no photos of the actual bash, which is sad. I wanted to see the inside.
But there's photos of Rita entering the bash, which is the only thing that we need in terms of this podcast, and she looks incredible.
They're so tight now that she's going to her birthday party.
Well, you know, I mean, she did the song for her, incredible song. They're friends. Rita's nothing if not a good, like, social friend, you know, like friend socially. She's great to have at a party, and even Diane Warren is aware of that.
She's turning 65 today. So the birthday was before her birthday, but it's for her 65th birthday, which is on Tuesday.
Happy birthday, Diane Warren.
I didn't see a huge number of celebrity photos from this party, but, like, she has so many famous friends. Everyone knows Diane Warren. You know?
Of course she does. Okay, next we have two very unconfirmed things, so I'm just going to put them right next to each other. Rita Ora and Taika Waititi spark engagement rumors after 6 months of dating. She, like, put a flame emoji over her ring finger.
As though it was, like, covering up something.
As if it was, which is, okay, Rita. And then also, she was offered, according to the Daily Mail, she was offered $1 million to return to The Voice next year as record high ratings result in the coaches wanting bigger salaries. So the Voice in Australia had a big year, and they're saying Rita had a lot to do with it, and also the other coaches as well. And so they're asking for $1 million.
So they all want money.
I believe it. They had there was a lot of, like, maybe the press was over exaggerating how good it was, but there was a lot of talk about the Voice this year.
She went braless in a flannel shirt and denim underwear and these gigantic boots.
This was for the music video.
But she looks like a character from, like, a Grand Theft Auto 5 like cartoon.
It's not great. She's wearing a denim diaper thing. Like, it's not a good look.
It's one of her worst looks of all time, I will say.
Yeah. And speaking of, The Voice Australia fans mock Rita Ora's unusual frock, comparing it to a loofah and joking that the singer looks like she's dressed as a fart, which is a little harsh.
Capitalizing fart is funny. Like, I will laugh if fart is in all caps.
And what's this last one?
So what happened was she was on The Voice. She was one of the people who picked this one group, G Nation, over someone named Sean Fuller. And fans were saying, again, this was them making a story out of tweets. So I'm going to quote, Judge Rita Ora incurred the wrath of viewers as she chose the girl group G Nation to stay on her team for the finals. Left in the dust was singer Sean Fuller, who has become a fan favorite but has now been dumped from the show. Those watching at home are less than impressed with the decision, as many posted their anger to Twitter. One viewer didn't mince words, writing, I am gobsmacked. Rita, you are an idiot. I am so disappointed.
Wait, but she clearly people are paying attention because she's going to get $1 million next year. They're
watching.
You know?
They're watching. So she's getting more money. Rita Ora getting more money and wearing weirder clothes and potentially marrying Taika Waititi. If they get fucking married, I'm going incognito with Lindsay. We are somehow going to get on this catering staff. Going to wear some prosthetics. We're going to serve some canapes.
No, we're going to be fucking invited. Are you kidding? At this point, the amount of press that I have given this woman over the past 5 years, we are getting invited. Her PR people who are all listening to this, as they do every week, we are getting invited to this wedding. And if you don't invite us, we are going to throw a fit.
If you don't invite us, we're ending the segment. How about that for a threat?
You're right. That's true. You're right. That's actually
if you don't invite us, we're ending the segment. The segment is dead and buried. Okay? Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye, segment. Bye, bitch. Bye,
and
mom.
then how else will you be able to do your job if we're not tracking Rita Ora for you every week? How else?
Yeah.
You have to track her yourself.
How's that? We don't make threats on this podcast, but guess what? Now we do. Thank you for listening to another episode of A Weekly. You better buy a fucking ticket for our tour. No, only if you want to.
On this podcast.
Again, vaccinations required at our show.
No, buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket if you want to.
Why won't you buy a ticket?
I don't want to threaten
I don't
anyone.
care if
Come
they
you
want to or not. Just come.
Support us on patreon.com/weekly for bonus episodes and more. Thank you to Katie and Eric of the Who's for providing our theme song, which we may not use if they don't invite us to this wedding anymore. The Rita theme song. And call in at 619-WHO-THEM to leave questions, comments, and concerns for our Friday show. Bye. Have a good week.
Hey.